Yellow over 1, and before jumping to the comments and saying that prestiging already exists with the use of Forma, please watch my video first, and if you still disagree, then you can comment saying what you're going to say when you first clicked on the video. As the title suggests, I think that prestiging should be added to Warframe, though it first should be implemented only with Warframes and then with the rest of the game. There are two reasons behind this. One, if the player base doesn't like this feature, it'll impact a very small portion of the game and can easily be reverted. And two, everyone knows Warframe for its, well, Warframes. And if this new feature is implemented with a well-known and versed mechanic, players would have an easier time and better time understanding it. Though I don't think prestiging is a necessarily difficult mechanic or feature to grasp in the first place. It's simply leveling up something past its base level to gain more cool rewards and achievements. But anyways, getting right into it, I think there should be 10 levels to prestiging. After players complete the 10th prestige, their Warframe will now not only display the icon of Mastery, that is the first time when they've got their Warframe to max level, but the Prestige Master sign as well. This shows that a player has spent far too fucking long on a single Warframe character. So how does it work? Well, it's relatively simple. After leveling up a Warframe of choice to max level and achieving the Mastery badge, players then will have a new option within the Actions tab that will allow them to begin their road to being Prestige Master on that given character. After players begin their Prestige journey, some of their items could be reset. Think of this Prestige mechanic similar to when you formal your frame. Some things might be removed given if you don't have the mod capacity or any other caveat. With every Prestige reset, players will have to re-level up their characters. However, each and every time, both the level and amount of XP needed increases to reach a higher level of Prestige. Also to clarify, the XP gained from leveling up the character during the Prestige phase does not count towards the Mastery level, once again functioning very similarly to when forming anything within the game. Okay, pause real quick. This is a quick interjection. This is me post reading the script and recording it. The next section you'll hear is me talking about like the levels and how you need the double XP and so on and so forth. Anyways, I'm basically explaining that to get to Prestige 1, you go from level 0 to 30, and that's like internal code. That's just what DE will have. The actual thing that you'll see displayed is Prestige 1 and the usual bar to how long it takes to get to the next Prestige. Not necessarily that you'll see the numbers. You're not going to be seeing a player be level fucking 180 or 165 when they're getting to Prestige 6. It's simply just an internal code for people to understand the ladder and how things scale and so on and so forth. You're actually just going to be seeing the base, the original level from 0 to 30. That's for the Mastery. Then you'll see Prestige 1, Prestige 2, so on and so forth, and then until you see Prestige Master. Alright, cool. Thank you. As mentioned before, each and every time you Prestige, you have to regain the levels and XP needed. I also hinted that each Prestige will increase that bar. Here's how this idea will work. Prestige 1 will fundamentally function the same as before. You go from level 0 to 30, and that's how you achieve Prestige 1. However, to achieve Prestige 2, you need to get double of everything. So you're not going from level 0 to 30. Pfft, no way, not anymore. This time, you're starting at level 0, and you'll need to reach level 60 in order to achieve Prestige 2. That means you need double the XP. Continuing this, at Prestige 3, you need to get to level 90, which means triple the XP as compared to Prestige 1. At Prestige 4, the level you want to get to is 120. At Prestige 5, it's 150. At Prestige 6, it's 180. At Prestige 7, that's a fat 210. Prestige 8? That's an easy 240. Prestige 9? This one's fun. It's level 270. And lastly, Prestige 10, the final prestige right before getting Prestige Master. And the level needed to achieve this prestige is level 300. Yes, you heard me. When you reach Prestige 10, you have to start at level 0 and reach an astounding level of 300. After all of this, you technically need to get one more level, which then moves you to Prestige Master, since Prestige 10 and Prestige Master are two separate things. After all the trials and tribulations, reaching Prestige Master grants the badge that says Prestige Master right next to the Mastery badge and all the rewards that I'll talk about in a second. That's, of course, for one single character. You still need to do it for every other variant of that same character and other frames as well, if you truly want to 100% the game. The next question that you might be asking is, what rewards do I get from prestiging? Well, aside from the fact that you'll be known as the #1 most unemployed person on this earth, you get quite a few interesting upgrades and rewards to your Warframe character. Beginning at Prestige 1, depending on the character, they will either receive a base shield or health increase. If the character, like Inaros, doesn't have any shields, they'll get a health increase. Otherwise, all other frames get a shield increase. At Prestige 2, everyone gets a health increase. At Prestige 3, you get an armor increase. At Prestige 4, you get more base energy. Now, I know, you might be falling asleep at these rewards, or you might think that they aren't worth it, but please bear with me. I've got far more interesting stuff you can say in store, and it starts with the 5th Prestige. On the 5th one, you'll unlock a second Exilis mod slot. On Prestige 6, you unlock a second Aura mod slot. The 7th Prestige is one where you can say I kind of ran out of ideas, because the rest of the prestiges I had already planned out ahead of time and made sure that they made sense, and I'm saying that with air quotes. On the 7th one, at least for now, I say you gain an extra Orkan reactor slot. Do what you want to do with that. I have to admit, this is the weakest prestige reward out of all of them. On the bright side, Prestige 8 grants a 3rd Arcane slot. For Prestige 9, that Warframe will unlock a 6th Arcane Shard slot. The second to last. After a player manages to achieve Prestige 10, their reward will be being able to transfer and infuse a second ability into their Warframe. Now, most of you watching already know what I mean, but the general explanation is, you know the Helminth, the thing where you can insert arcane shards and sacrifice a Warframe for one of their abilities to be placed into another? Yeah, take that second option and now you can do that one more time. Admittedly, it sounds a bit OP, but you're spending a decent amount of time to level up the Warframe, and I think it's a good reward for the troubles that someone may have faced. And lastly, after leveling up one more time after Prestige 10, you're given the icon and the title Prestige Master for that character. Some might ask, why for the Prestige, when we technically already have it with Forma? Unironically, I love the Warframes in Warframe. I don't really care for anything else in the game besides for the Warframes. My main goal is to have every Warframe, whilst also getting them to max level. With this Prestige idea, it gives me more reason to play other frames that I just played just to get to max level. Some could call it busy work, but I think it just gives another chance for players to try out more Warframes, whereas they would just, done the same thing as me. Get the Warframe, level it up, then leave it sitting to collect dust. Furthermore, this gives new incentivization and further build crafting. As said before, each Prestige presents its own reward after reaching it. And lastly, Forma simply changes the polarity of a given mod slot, which to some extent does change, and again that's with air quotes, the Warframe. But otherwise the Warframe stays the same. However, in this Prestige mechanic, our Warframes to some extent become something much more. It allows them to become stronger. It shows other players how much dedication was put into that Warframe. And lastly, it's a flex, man. Also, we kinda, sorta, already have a prestige system in Warframe. The master rank, or your account level, after going past level 30, goes into legendary rank, with currently the max level being 6. That is, if you bought the Founders Pack many moons ago and have the Warframe that keeps blueballing everyone to hell and absolutely cucks you in the newest quest that Warframe has to offer. There are 3 final quick thoughts that I want to mention. Number 1, if this feature is implemented well, received well, or whatever the case may be, DE could implement it to any other aspect of the game. As I said at the start, it doesn't have to be exclusive to Warframes. I'm bringing it up as a Warframe idea because that's the thing that I'm most versed with within this game. Number 2, if a player manages to get all Warframes to Prestige Master, they could receive some kind of, reward. Maybe in the accolades section, they'll have a new item to present, that being Prestige Master. Maybe they unlock some cool cosmetics. Hell, maybe they'll unlock some secret-ass quest that allows them to unlock fucking Stalker or Excalibur Prime for crying out loud. I don't fucking know. And number 3, the actual look of the Prestige icons. We could go about this in 3 different ways. For example, Excalibur, Excalibur Prime, and Excalibur Umbra could either have their own uniquely made icons, option 1, or the other variants would have a recolor of the base version that Excalibur gets, option 2. However, it might be a bit wasteful to have each Warframe have their own prestige icon for all 10 prestiges, and on top of that, having their own prestige master icon. So DE could just make a general set of prestige icons and slap it onto every Warframe. That's option 3. I personally prefer the first option, where I could see each Warframe have their own unique set of prestige icons that change from prestige 1 to 10, whilst also having their own prestige master. Though that's for them to decide now. Overall, this is a simple idea. I mainly thought of this idea because I was bored, thought that maybe Warframe could use a bit more of a grind, and wanted to set up some kind of blueprint. I'm just kidding about the second part, but I do think it's a fun thing to go after, especially for the highest tier of players or someone like me, who simply likes to collect Warframes. I also miss being able to prestige in games, especially how it was in older Call of Duties. It's a small feature, but it's a fun thing to chase after. At least for me, that is. Anyways, that's all from me. See ya.